Welcome to Albion TV's live coverage of the NA invasion. I am the Shozen One, and I am joined today by Robinhoodrs on the play-by-play, and we have a very special guest. We have the great Tazzik on the knobs and levers. How you doing, Tazzik?
I'm good. I'll let Robin handle this most. I'm just gonna be backstage, moving some buttons, clicking some dials, things like that.
Robin, what are we doing
We have
today?
action. We
do? Already?
Jump on X Sarge. All right.
All right.
Obviously, Sarge falling out of BA, building up his new guild, Militants, here. And I was expecting them to have some action today on the NA portion, and here we are right into it. 30 minutes before the timer hits for the claims of the territory, but we'll get into that after this action dwindles down. It's going to be up against, who is this? Veni Vinci, I believe, is the name they're up against. I haven't heard of these boys, so it looks to be...
They've been here before.
I can't remember them, but Sarge is getting clumped here, losing quite a few members on this eastern side, looking for a return engagement. There comes the Brimstones, but the defenses were down there for Veni, and it was a nice play. Sarge looking to be clumped in from the western side. The boys don't have a locust down for that front line, and those fallen staffs absolutely missing those clumps, while the back end is getting pummeled there by that bloodletter, causing chaos. It looks like X-Sarge and the boys are in a spot of trouble. Another massive deletion on their front line here. They are getting outplayed at the moment, and it looks like that chariot really isn't doing much. It's there. That beetle, though, it should be doing a lot more in terms of shutting down these engagements here for Militant. Seems to be playing a little bit in their backline. That's not how you want to play a beetle. You need to be up there dropping that E onto the front. Another big camman comes in. Oh my god, Militant are getting demolished here. I'm not even seeing a decent turnaround for the time being. It looks like their DPS is hiding all the way back to the southeast. Sarge is probably screaming at the top of his lungs. If anybody...
He's probably losing it right now.
Yeah. Like, this man, he goes to town when he calls.
They're keeping themselves right up in the front, though. They aren't backing off any. He's trying to get his team to come up. Oh, actually, it looks like they're turning around now. Probably going to go try to find a choke. They were given quite a bit of space.
Indeed, yeah. And it looks like Militant may have been able to edge up just a little bit here. Look at this ranged DPS on this eastern side, using that crevasse to their advantage, keeping their distance between the tanks and the melee DPSs while they're just, free casting over the top. Nicely done on the positioning there. Looks like Veni, though, are edging up to the northwest side. That's going to be a massive damnation pierce into the camman, permafrost, and it's going to be a full-blown deletion. Sarge just making it out there by the skin of his teeth, and now they're looking for a return engagement, but they're not going to find anything as the counter comes in. And Notorious there for Veni, just shutting down that engagement there by Militant, and it looks like they're going to be falling back here. And look at that bloodletter trying to get those executes off on the northwest side of our screen here. And there it is. The retreat has been called. Get out if you can. And it's like round number 1 here, going to Veni in a very nice, small-scale, even fight.
Yeah, it's been pretty one-sided there, but it was not too bad for Militant's first showing. I mean, come on, it's their first time we've seen them. They're a new guild, right?
Yep. New guild. Obviously, Sarge being an ex-shot caller for Blue Army.
We got Rang versus Broke Boys going on Everwinter Gap. I'm over here on Na right now. It's going on in... It's on the stairs.
Alrighty, okay. So this is an area that we saw Elevate actually fight PoE in quite a bit. I'm looking at Na's guild here. Gear, shall I say. Full 8.3 with a Rage Claw and an 8.3 satchel. This man has gone all out with 1,774 average item power.
What is the...
But it looks like there's a group of Rang that just got deleted here by a bomb over the top by Broke Boys. So it's going to be quite interesting how these groups play this positioning, because both sides actually coming from the guild that knew how to play this position last season versus PoE. Yes. Both from Elevate. Elevate is now closed, so people have gone their different ways. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this plays out here. Both shot callers should know how to play this position, and it's going to be an interesting one. Looks like Rang are slowly edging up. Probably going to try and go for an engagement here. Na's going all the way
Nice
deep.
engagement by Na, but no follow-up whatsoever. He's got to fall back now and hope that he can get back in time.
That doesn't look like it. Look at this wave coming in of Broke Boys
He's
once
be
again.
Smashed.
I believe Na got caught out positioning-wise on EU Invasion, if I watched that and remember it correctly.
He went a little deep.
A little bit too deep. Maybe he's trying to, you know, get a feel for the way that people play different guilds, you know. Shot callers, healers, support players all play differently. Everybody has to get used to that now. It's one thing that I definitely noticed switching between guilds is learning how far you can go up as a tank and how far the supports and healers are willing to go to follow you. It's definitely different between each guild. And looks like Broke Boys are actually backing off here. I don't know if another guild's entered the battlefield. Cluster Q is activated here in Everwinter Gap. Some members of Broke Boys getting caught off guard. It looks like Broke Boys are coming back in. Nah, defensive inertia ring is down. I don't know. Looks like Rang really do not want to play off this. It looks like there's another group of Broke Boys just to the western side of our screen here as well.
Let's see, we got Overlords and Shadow something over here. I don't recognize these guys. Shadow Killers. Coming from the other side on Broke Boys. They look, I don't know, it doesn't look like they're like antagonistic. They're kind of just hanging out with each other. Just a lot of guys on rats, really. I'm sorry, lizards. Lizards. Did I say rats? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of connection issues on Na, by the way. I switched over to Tamashi. It seems to have fixed itself. I was getting a little bit of teleportation issues. But it seems to fix itself with Na's point of view. So I'm going to switch over to Tamashi's point of view, sorry.
All right, I'm on Na again, and it seems to be working as well. But we can head over to Tamashi and see how he's got it.
Yeah, it seems to be a little bit better. EU internet and all. It looks like Broke Boy's getting caught on the clumps here, on the choke points. Not enough deletion in terms of DPS, and there's no force from the north side. So it looks like Broke Boys are holding. Looks like Tamashi was looking for a full engagement there. He backed off just in time. Innomatic staff's out for the front lines. Everybody's making it back alive. Could be a full push here now. The Camland was connected onto Prince Exion, but he noticed just in time before dragging it out. And look at this push here onto the bridge. Nasty deletions onto the front lines of Broke Boys, taking a pounding here by the boys of Rang. Are Broke Boys going to be able to get a decent return engagement on this? I don't think they are. Not even going to be able to push over the choke point to get any DPS out. Very nicely done here by Rang, playing off this choke point here. Bad. While this happens, I'm going to quickly let the rest of the world of Albion know that we are currently live with the NA coverage and we got fights. Let me drop this announcement real quick here.
We've got some action over here. I am hopping around to the rest of the world as we watch this choke battle. Another great castle fight here. We're hoping to see this one last throughout the evening. I do like watching these guys fight each other to the death. It is enjoyable from my perspective. But Domna and the guys are out in force, still with a giant level 50 disarray. We saw them earlier today pushing quite a high disarray. What was it like? I want to say it was in the 60s earlier.
I think it was like 57, I think it was. I remember you guys talked about it.
It was like it means 257, yeah. So they had 257 people in their total group there. It was pretty large. I cannot remember what the disarray was on that, like the level. Still just positioning here and a lot of back and forth on this choke. We do see a couple of dead bodies starting to pile up as people are getting caught out of position. Never something you want to do here.
It'd be helpful if I actually typed what I was meant to type.
Oh, did you type the wrong thing? That happens. I do like seeing Prince Exion out in front with that Juggernaut. It is nice to see. I wish they had a couple more Juggernauts. I find those are one of the battle mounts that really works well when you have more of them together.
Yeah, and I mean, these battle mounts, especially the Juggernauts. We've seen how devastating it can be, especially with the area that they're fighting in. PoE actually sent, I believe it was 8 of them up against Elevate last season. Look at this return engagement!
Wow.
Holy
Really
smokes.
well done by Rang there, just deleting that group. I was kind of impressed by Broke Boys getting some of the wins in the choke here, but that turnaround was brutal. Let's see if the return fire by Broke Boys is effective. No, not really. No, I think one guy fell there.
Oh, here we go. Looks like they're trying to do a full push onto the foot line.
Effective. That's gonna work.
There
That's
it is.
a nice drop right there by the Broke Boys. Well done.
And now the return, though. Look at that. That's the
They got
difference at
caught
the
out
moment.
on the return. No, they just got stopped on the return there. Nicely done by Broke Boys on the defensives, getting another kill as it was the Rang coming in.
Yeah, this is just a constant back and forth engagement between these two at the moment. And boy, oh boy, I think both sides are probably equal in terms of numbers, maybe. So it's literally a battle of who dies first. And looking at the minimap, if everyone's set home in Morgana's Rest, it's literally the zone southwest where they're going to be respawning and coming back out with their gear sets. So,
boy,
this fight could last
through the night.
invasion.
Yeah, I think it could.
Well, it all depends.
I get the
Broke
feeling
Boys-
that these two groups are willing to fight each other for a while, being from the same, pretty much the same guild last season, split into two, and they're friends on each side. A couple of people who had been in Elevate previously, as well as a number of new people over in Broke Boys. Broke Boys being one of the biggest hype guilds of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too early to call them a hype guild.
Okay. All right. I thought
I
there was a
would
lot of
wait and see.
construction hype to get them built up, and they have a lot of big names in them, and we'll see how it is. You know, I guess depending on what your definition of a hype guild is.
Yeah, I mean, I would start calling people hype guilds, like,
Once they start folding.
yeah, like
All
if they're like lasting less than a season, then definitely.
Well, all right.
but
And Broke Boys
you
is a
never know.
returning guild. I mean, both these guilds actually are returning guilds, Rang and Broke Boys. We have seen them both before in the past, rebuilt once again for another season.
Like a lot of these boys in Broke Boys are actually going to have to be re-gearing themselves here because they're just taking pounding after pounding on these return engagements. It looks like finally there is a wee battle to the northwest side. It looks like Rang have actually lost half of its group to go fight up there. And Broke Boys really aren't taking advantage of this.
No, they're not pushing in at all.
From the fleet are definitely taking advantage of it as they come
they're
in.
definitely
Look
looting
at all
like
these
mad.
combat looters, dude.
Oh, so much loot. So much looting. All right, get these looters. Get them. Come on, Rang. You can do this.
Yeah, but
This
but
is
while,
most
while they
important
focus on
part of
that,
the fight.
dude, there's another small fight happening up there, and while they focus on that, Rang are going to be letting the boys down to the north side. Finally, this party is
those
rotating.
poor guys in the north need your help. There's a lot of Broke Boys over there.
Trying to find
Who's our tank?
Is baited via tank? No, he's Bloodladder.
You got Nico Meister on Beetle.
Oh,
Rang.
oh god, I just did that again. Oh god.
Did you just announce again?
My bad.
It's okay. We'll forgive you. I won't tell anybody if you don't.
Eh, you know, I have my whispers turned on. Okay.
Oh, you get a lot of them when you do that, don't
Oh,
you?
yes.
Oh, yeah, you get a... that's an exciting period. I've never been so popular. Currently hanging out with Nico Meister of Rang. He's flying himself a Beetle in the northwest here. Looks like he's actually rotating back around. As soon as I drop a name in chat for you guys, he's like, nope, I'm going to be the guy who travels back and forth between the different locations.
Yeah, it looks like
Cool.
I switched back onto Tamashi because they got back up there. It looks like Tamashi doesn't know where he wants to position himself. He doesn't know if he needs to focus on the northwest side or the southwest side. It looks like they're going for an engagement onto the bridge, maybe trying to fake some engagements here, trying to burn some cooldowns defensive-wise. Not really much of a bait. Actually, Broke Boys look for an engagement here. Nice stop down by the Grail Seekers of Rang. And now it's going to be another full push. Look at the deletions happening here. But now the return engagement. It looks like Broke Boys have finally figured out what to do. using a different party for their cooldown rotations, and that definitely worked. A lot of Rang dead on the floor on that one. They are doing the old bait and switch, dragging them through the choke point here. Nice defensive firewall. Gonna pay with your life there, my old son. As he gets
here comes
deleted.
another wave of broke boys over here on top of Nico Meister. They're going to catch him on his beetle if he's not careful. He's definitely deep.
Dude, look at the combat looting here by Rang, dude. Oh my god, if broke boys got up there in time.
Yeah, like that. I don't know. Nico may have just distracted him just long enough to prevent that. And here we go. Nice first engagement by Rang into the broke boys. I guess more Rang died in that, though. We'll give that to them. And they're going to lose a lot more, Robin. That is not good. Did you see that on the west there?
Yeah, that was...
Did you see that collapse? I was watching from Nico Meister's perspective here, and all I saw was a wave of broke boys, 0 defensives, and straight deletion.
You got to remember, we only have one screen today.
Yes.
So remember to stick with the main POV on this one. As you know, I may need a break between every now and then. May confuse a lot of people. Tamashi and the boys.
What we have on the chat over here. If you're going to change the POV, just let us know, and we will. I'll make sure I'm over there too.
Yeah, I was on Tamashi the whole time. Sorry. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he is shot calling this group, and he is always up in the front lines. So it looks like they're going for a full rotation. No, they're going for a full rotation here, trying to get away from those bridges. He isn't liking that split bridge fighting area. It looks like broke boys are on the tail. Tamashi's still rotating here. They going up here now? No, this is bad. If they take this positioning, they lose vision advantage. They do have height advantage, but it's not going to matter here, as they can't see anything. Look at this vision. You got to remember, broke boys have full vision of everything that's happening on this platform.
Broke boy can see all the way up top, and they can't see down. That's not a good position to be in. Let's see how this works out for them. They do have a beautiful choke to hold. Hopefully, they can take advantage of that, as they don't have many advantages in front of them.
No, definitely not. And a bit of a weird play from Tamashi. I wasn't expecting this placement, but we'll see how it plays. Wei is pummeling here. Here comes the first Camland, clumping the front line. Another big counter Camland comes in onto broke boys. But look at this, the South Vision, what we were just talking about here, over the wall, right into the DPS Cloffies that were trying to engage. And 2 members did drop down dead. And Rang are going to get pummeled here. Another big engagement. Nice stoppage though, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as Tamashi nearly gets one-shotted on the choke point. Look at these frontline tanks just getting melted time and time again. Broke boys should have another set of rotations of cooldowns coming in. Here comes the Camlands. Here comes the full push through the choke point. It was definitely a misplay of positioning here for Rang, as the broke boys just streaming, and it's a full-blown deletion.
Over.
It's
just
done.
crushed here on the tower.
Wow.
Oof.
Yikes. So we should see round number 2 though pretty quickly.
You can hope for it.
Yeah. But I guess while we have a little bit of a lull in the action, we can actually tell the audience what we're actually doing here today.
Yeah, what are we supposed to be watching today?
Well, it is meant to be what we just watched.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
there's something else.
Robin, the territories.
Yeah. So we've already had the EU invasion, and that means all the EU territories that were dropped here today on reset or maintenance have been claimed. Where all the guilds come out, as you saw, they come out, they fight each other, they have boss teams, or they just zerg down the territory, which triggers Shozen pretty heavily, killing that elite vengeful guardian lord.
There you go. You got it in the first try.
I got it. Look at that.
You didn't even call him the elite veteran guardian lord, which is what I like to do.
But yes, that mob actually guards the territory. You have to kill that before you are able to claim the territory for your guild here. So all the NA territories pop in 10 minutes time at 1 UTC. That's going to be claimable. So all these groups are going to be out fighting all these massive Zergs, trying to claim new territories and holdings for themselves. A lot of new guilds and alliances popping up for the Energy Surge season because the old season points and rankings actually matter now, Shozen.
Yeah, they do. You can get something for them. Yeah.
What can they get?
You can get yourself a brand new HQ.
Oh yeah?
The headquarters, Robin. It's like a hideout, but it can't be destroyed by physical means alone. You have to use some mind games.
Yeah, and you can actually Oh, sorry. I was actually trying to figure out if there was any content here. Dominant and the boys just arrived here in Morgana's Rest as well.
Morgana's Rest, yeah, they just ran in. Like, everybody's in Morgana's Rest. You got Rang, Title, Broke Boys. Everybody's kind of hanging out in the same zone.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking
9 minutes beforehand, what's going on here?
I don't know. There's a lot of activity up here. I mean, it's unclaimed territory, right? BA is no more. BA is gone. All these territories that were held by BA up in the north here around Morgana's Rest are now claimable for a new occupancy. And we have been seeing that Surf trying to push in around this north side and claim some territory for themselves on the EU around 1800 time slot. So it's a battle for the territories up here around Morgana's Rest, it seems like.
Yeah, very interesting to see who's going to walk away with these lands over the next few days. I imagine it's going to look one way today when we leave and then look completely different by Tuesday when we come back.
Indeed. Because, you know, the next couple of days, all the territories flip into the quote-unquote correct owner's hands. And that kind of then gives a bit of a better perspective of who's holding what areas of the map now, who's working with who. You know, it takes a little bit of a couple days for it to wind down. And we can actually see what the hell's going on before everything changes the next week. Because that's what definitely happens. Everything changes so much here in the world of Albion, in the Outlands. Week in, week out. It's a different story, different ownership, different hand-holding, different NAP agreements. It's a little bit hard to keep track of, but we try our best.
It's especially early in the season when everything is flopping hands. It can get very difficult to figure out. I'm seeing quite a lot of players over in Parched Sand Cliffs, the Snow Alliance. Do you know these guys?
Yeah, they fall under they did fall under the Blue Army umbrella.
Okay. Now they're free.
Well, no, because I believe they're now under the protection of PoE.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure. Tamashi and the boys actually merked for them in the crystals for the final couple days. And that bumped them up quite a few rankings, I believe. What did they finish? Yeah, 4th place last season. I do my. So, yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Well, I'm hopping around to some of the most full zones, and there's a lot of them. I found PoE V2 over in Watchwood Bluffs. Not a lot going on over here, but we were told to check these guys out. Finally found them, but no action.
Alrighty. Well, it looks like Sarge may have some action. Oh, wow. X-Sarge may have some action on him in just a moment here. Militant, once again, they are out and about. There is a couple blobs here on the map. They have the 9 Alliance just to the northwest of them, over this little crevasse here in between.
Okay. We've seen quite a bit of the 9 Alliance lately.
Yeah.
Other than today, I didn't see much of them earlier. I mean, but we have, leading up to this season, they split off of the 6 Alliance, as well as Uprising King is another group that split out of the 6 Alliance. Interesting
Yeah.
to see how that dynamic works out between the 3 of them.
Yeah, it is going to be an interesting one. Actually, it looks like Militant heading out the zone here. I'm not 100% sure what Sarge is up to.
Oh.
Miller's also here. Another new alliance. He just edged up and just backed out. Sarge, though, did zone out of the zone.
Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on the Uprising King for a moment, as they might have some content soon.
Alrighty.
They were just outside of Parched Sand Cliffs, which is the zone where we just saw all those snow guys. And now they are in Razor Rock Edge, and I'm wondering if they're trying to position themselves for a fight or just escape a very large blob. It might be escape a very large blob. Yeah, that might be it. Okay,
That could...
understandable.
Getting information. Let me double check. I do have a name for PoE BZ, but they're not fighting at the moment. I'll put the name in chat for us, though.
Okay. Brave
Keep an eye
Mountain
on
Hill.
that one.
Oh.
See some blob sizes here. Who's up here? Right out.
I head over to XR to see what's going on over there.
Looks like they're trying to go for maybe Meltwater Channel here. A juicy zone, a T8
Quite.
zone, pretty close to the Morgana's Rest area. And as you can see, there's quite a few renters living in this zone, which is going to be fallout here from.
Oh
the
yeah, this
Blue
is Tidal
Army
is running into them here. This is Surf right now that is on their way into them. We'll see if something cool happens here. I was actually watching the other perspective. Didn't realize I had a camera in the same zone until I had the same map on both guys. Wait a second.
It'll be interesting. Militant with a level 16 disarray debuff, and we know Sarge, you know, he likes to have a bit of a rough and tumble. He doesn't mind taking fights
Level 51.
outnumbered.
Level 51 though on Tidal.
But that works in Sarge's favor quite a bit.
Okay.
Maybe not
Maybe
so
not so
much
much.
now as he runs into another group getting his cut off. Looking at the map, and not many places to go in terms of choke points.
Not
unless
a
he
lot
can
of
get
chokes in the
all way
swamp.
down to the south.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm watching this from both perspectives, and
There's death in the back. I
there's-
already see skulls.
like Dom that's already running past the guys who are dead. Like
Yeah.
that's like they have washed over them so entirely that it's just green on my screen from Domnit's perspective, and they're catching the poor militants one at a time, and it's just a massacre.
Yeah, that's over.
So I'm going to go with the disarray debuff did not work in their favor. No.
Well, in the next zone over from Surf is
Sorry,
Rang,
fine.
and I don't know if everybody's working together, kind of the relationship that happened last time with the last couple of seasons. I don't know if Surf's working with Rang or Broke Boys. I don't know what the deal is here.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to find out if there's some kind of relationship between these 3 groups, we did see Rang versus the Broke Boys earlier, so that'll be interesting to see how, which group got the diplomacy with Dominic.
Yeah.
How did that break down? Where did that go?
I think if anything, it will be the Rang group that got it. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it was the Rang group.
There does seem to be more of an elevate presence in Rang.
Yeah. You still have Tamashi and Rang, so it's. We'll wait and see. Maybe I'll get a little bit of information from them boys later on.
Well, I'm sure because we said something, we're either going to be told that we're correct or that we're incredibly incorrect. The internet's not going to let that stand as a statement on its own.
Definitely not. But what that, you know what they're like, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah. Called crowdsourcing.
Are these guys kicked off yet? No PoE. Oh, there's a. Is that all PoE here?
Yeah, there's a
39
full
disarray
group. Yeah,
debuff.
there's a full group of PoE out. Oh, Meltwater channel.
Oh,
Boy.
there is going to be content here. Jump on this Scarlet. Name I put in chat. PoE V that are going to go up against, I believe it's Void Alliance here in Mud and Fell. An interesting placement. Quite a large group going across that bridge, and holy smokes, I'm surprised no one took advantage of that. So the group is actually just tucked away to their southeast, down by the outpost. See how these boys perform.
Okay. Muntenfell.
I'm going to go right out on a limb and say, Scarlet, you only have 2 potions on you as a shot caller.
Oh, wait, what?
Bring great shame upon yourself and the Zerg here. Like their food has popped. They're going to go for an instant remount, trying to get positioning on the fleeing forces. And it's like that force is tucked away pretty nicely down in this south corner. There's already skulls popping up on the minimap. So Scarlet and this group should be hitting the back end of whoever's down here. And here we go, the dismount hitting. And now the collapse is coming in. It's the Void Alliance. Another group of PoE outside of an alliance here, so it may be a little bit confusing for the audience at home. But Void is the enemy, and look at this grouping here. The clumps coming in. It's just going to be all she wrote soon.
Poor Void.
That's not what you want. Actually, they soaked it up pretty well. They did take quite a few casualties. Scarlet is split from the Zerg.
Void. Oh.
Zerg
They
discipline.
did not cash him.
Zerg discipline here for this group.
For PoE, yeah. Very well done.
Great.
No, I'm going to say PoE's doing pretty good. They're keeping their lines. There's a lot of guys.
Yeah, there is. It can get a little bit tricky.
It
Look
gets
at this.
hectic.
Look at this.
Okay, there does seem to be a bit of
one.
wander over on one side. Yes, I'll give you. There was some wander. Right into the thick of it.
I think Void are now done. There's like probably like a group 10 maybe tucked away down here.
In trouble.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. Don't have your scouts.
There's a bunch of them. Look, there's like 7 more of them. They could do so. Oh, poor guy. Imagine being that guy from Ghost Kingdom. That's not the guy you want to be. Yes.
Can you pop that in chat?
Diana 157 over here. Yep. Oh, that's a significant group of Void running for their lives. Up through this northeast choke.
Oh, wow.
They need to turn on that, put up a defense there, and then they can actually get some people out. Actually, somebody tried to do a solo hero play, but that's not going to be enough. You're just going to die for that. It's okay.
Defensive Icicle coming out there from the Void group as they flee. But look at this. Another massive group of PoE flooding in over the top outside of this alliance of PoE. Void heavily outnumbered.
Incredibly. They're running for their lives here. Unless they were to just throw an incredible amount of defensives into a choke and get themselves some space, I think they're in a lot of trouble here, Robin. They're going to get overrun by this secondary group that's mounting up. They're going to run in front of them, get to the door before them. Oh, this is not good. Yeah, and here they are, getting to the door before Void. Void can't get to the door now.
Oh, this is... You do a loop around the map where you hope and pray that you get through the door. Looks like they're going to go for a loop around.
Yeah, I would go for the loop because you know at least 2/3 of your guys are going to die at the gate. That takes a lot of patience though to do that loop.
Cluster queues activated here on Tamashi. It looks like a dismount is happening here in Meltwater Bog. Some big boy blobs happening up in this map at the moment. I like this area of the map. It's a little bit better. Still a swamp map, so it's still pretty shit to play in. But they have quite a few chokes. They have that massive long bridge, and they also have a smaller bridge next to the big long bridge that they can use and then kite into the static dungeon area if they can make it up that far.
Void found a choke, and they actually have a spot to. Oh, and they chose not to defend it. Okay. It was enough of a choke that it kept POEVZ off them for a moment. They were like, I'm not going to go up that choke. And then they just said, wait a second, Void isn't using it at all. And now they're getting caught against the wall over here on Diana. And Diana is getting a massacre against the wall. That's beautiful and brutal. And I don't even know what to say. It's nice and terrible. Yeah.
And now as that was happening,
so much devastation that Diana's like, I don't need to watch that. I don't need to have that in my nightmares tonight. I don't need that on my conscience. And running away as the rest of the Zerg just wipes that up for them. And over here on Tamashi, if we can head back over to the other fight that we do have, it's fully engaged between Surf and Send. I think we have an answer, Robin.
Yeah, I think we do. And Tamashi was actually Surf had a really nice wraparound on Send here, but they just didn't capitalize. Tamashi was a little bit stuck. Enter the meme here, step bro, I'm stuck. If you were here for last season, actually stuck on a fence, and he couldn't move. Looks like it's a wee wraparound. It's going around in circles here on the pond between these choke points. Surf are getting... Well, they're in full kite mode onto the tightest choke. Oh my fucking god! Please, DPS!
Robin, are you okay?
My god, that choke right there, that clump right there onto Surf.
It's like watching PoE. Look at this. They're just coming through the choke. Surf is just pouring through the choke.
But
like
Rang aren't doing anything. They're dying.
They're just.
And now the
Surf
counter
is
comes
getting just destroyed. There's just so many Surf corpses. Oh my god.
Rang got smashed.
From
Surf got
too,
smashed.
But like that was just.
Oh my days.
Everybody lost in that one.
I think one clear, outstanding change to the Zerg comp here for Rang, coming from Elevate, is definitely the support players. I hardly saw Locusts at the front line and enigmatic staffs not outstanding like we normally expect to see from Elevate.
Else, yeah,
they were on another level with that.
And
but
now
looks like
the numbers for Surf are going to play a role in this. Look at this. There's so many of them here. And now I believe Elevate's going to try to catch these guys at the door and then go. I'm sorry, Elevate. Rang. My bad.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to have to get used to it.
Oh, did PoE come in here?
Someone came in here, actually triggered Cluster Q. And I believe Surf were the major ones that got punished by it, because they got teleported out even though they were just about to win the ZVZ. And that blob next to the static dungeon is actually the 9 Alliance coming in for a round against Rang here.
Okay, well, it's Rang is cleaning up down below, so Surf got wiped out. I thought Surf was going to have the numbers on that over the top, but the 9 Alliance, you're right, came through and just made that messy. But if we go back over to Diana once again, Mambo is out here facing Diana this time and not faring much better than we saw with PoE VZ's last opponent.
Oh god, here we go. So battles happening across the world of Albion right now. NA, sometimes it's resident sleeper, but it's been a good showing here.
It's been a good show. It's been a good show. Things have gotten spicy today.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Oh, nice return. Okay. Ooh. Okay, you're getting confident on that, and Mambo makes you pay. Nicely done. I like that. Nice. Well done, Mambo. That's what we needed to see before.
Utilizing the choke points. Actually turning with DPS. But it looks like Diana may have overextended their welcome here.
Very extended,
nicely done. Obviously, one of the downsides of using a current count as a shot caller, you're going to get stopped by all those firewalls and wind walls. Looks like Mambo looking for another engagement.
Mambo once again. Actually, that's a double-sided. That went death in both directions. I think that PoE is going to come out of this ahead right now because they have the numbers coming. And as I say that, oh, that's more PoE.
Yep, more PoE.
That's PoE VZ2. How many PoEs are there?
Enough.
Oh
there's
my.
There's a lot. Well, that's cleared up, unfortunately, for them. You know, there was a good attempt here back onto Tamashi, though, back in Meltwater Bog. It's all happening here versus 9 Alliance now. Cluster Q still activated. Another blob has entered the map as well, making its way around the northeast side. Going to be connecting into the battle soon. I believe it's going to be reinforcements for 9 Alliance. I would go out on a limb because they only got a tier 2, tier 3 blob in on the first rotation. And they were getting cleaned up pretty quickly. The blob is now connected. We'll see if it's going to be reinforcements. Tamashi actually choosing to mount up and, you know, reposition a little bit. He's on some nasty little choke points. Another cluster Q rotation just came in as more blobs are appearing on the southwest side. That's actually going to be reinforcements for Rang. A couple members of 9 coming in there, but on that northwest side, it's going to be 9 Alliance. But like we said, we just saw 9 Alliance getting cleaned up here in Meltwater Bog by Rang. These loot bags, they should be pretty full here. I think Exion's having the time of his life combat looting. I'm pretty sure he's online.
Finally in a guild he's allowed to do it in.
Yeah, he's got an 8-1 bag on. On his little juggernaut. He doesn't have carry weight on his boots though.
Not yet.
So maybe that's why they put him on a juggernaut, so he can't combat loot.
Oh, true. Yeah, he has to remount every time. He doesn't like that.
And it's a slow mount, dude.
It is. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It looks like these boys are... oh, I just got more information. Amin94 saying that they got action on them. I'll put it in chat. Going to be Snow versus, I believe, 6. They're not fully engaged here, actually, unless it's on the other side of the map. Let me go have a peek through into the next map here.
Okay. I'm just going to hang out here. I'm just kind of bouncing around between a number of different zones that have high population, hoping that we can catch some extracurricular fights. Some extra we didn't know was happening.
Oh, there is indeed a big group of 6, a level 35 disarray debuff sitting on the other side here. So whoever makes the play, you'll see. I'm gonna give us the shock caller for the Snow Alliance.
Okay.
We'll keep an eye on them. They haven't zoned in yet.
Rytron.
They're zoning in now. So 6 are trying to currently take the territory here in Highstone Plains. It'll be an interesting one. Once again, Shock Caller only using 3 potions. It's my biggest gripe. Boys,
Keep
listen,
mentioning it. Keep mentioning. I want you to keep talking about it.
If you're a tank, please, for the love of God, bring 10 potions. It's literally an extra 60k.
Oh, here we go.
And
M3R, we haven't seen them today.
exactly.
Good to see them.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just like seeing everybody out again. It's good to see Doom out. We haven't seen them today yet. I like watching these guys. We watched a lot of them leading up to this season. M3R as well. We've been watching quite a bit of them. And we're seeing these new alliances.
Alrighty. Apparently, Xarch also has content on him. Can you take a quick peek at that
I got
one?
it. I'm on it now.
All right, these boys are dismounting. The food's getting pumped. The overcharges are charging. Actually, Triton hasn't popped his food yet. There we go, finally. Okay, I thought he wasn't going to do it. I thought there was going to be another gripe here that I had to have.
He's going to be fighting out of a territory soon, I imagine. I'm just keeping an eye on it. It looks pretty one-sided right now, as I think he has scared off most of the opponents. Just that, you know, he's a scary guy, that Sarge.
He is.
Intense.
Well, his past or his previous job, you know, it makes him scary.
A little. He's an intense dude.
Yeah, especially when he's shot calling. Sheesh.
I haven't experienced that yet. I did do an interview with him and an exit interview, and
it's insane.
Oh, he's gonna get action. I was wrong. He's found a group. They don't know if they want to fight yet, but Order of Eris is about to find out what Sarge is made out of.
Let us know if it engages.
It's engaged. It's on.
Okay.
It's engaged now. He's looking for. his engagement. He is wandering around in their front lines while his boys cut through them, and finally he did get himself a camland.
Alrighty, let's see if Sarge and the boys of
A little
Militant
messy.
can get a
I'm-
win. Nice deletion action.
There you go. It's a little messy, but they rounded it up nicely. They gave him a little hope before they smashed him.
Yeah, and an enigmatic staff making an appearance, something that they didn't have at the the first couple of attempts when they were getting wiped.
I recommend it. It's good.
So,
Oh,
yeah, the Militant, changing their composition just a little bit. Looks like they're going to go back inside the territory here. So a nice little deletion. All right,
we're gonna head over to Tritron. Okay.
Tritron. Yeah,
Tritron.
Oh, wow. Nice old camland here from EPOW into the permafrost, but the defenses were down, so Snow know what they're doing. The counter comes in. It's going to be a nasty clump. Oh, the camland just dragged that out of the brimstone. That could have been a nasty deletion if that brimstone connected in time. But look at this, the return engagement over to the northwest side. Both sides taking casualties as the Fricks try to, hit them with a little nasty flank, but it flipped back into the favor of Snow. But look at this. Look at these permafrost raining down over the top of the side of the tower here. Triton goes right in. He's going in. Okay, we know what type of shock order we're dealing with here.
Yep.
This is a man that will go in, and he will go in deep.
It's a big banana junior here.
Oh, yes. There's no stopping him. He falls back for a reset, ignores the reset on the ground.
Doesn't care. It's like, as long as it's going down, I'm happy. Put it down.
I don't care if it only heals one guy. It's down. The push continues. 6 are taking a pounding here. So, finally...
They're getting a good cycle here from these guys in Snow. They're getting
clumps.
some good rotations
Oh, my
of...
days.
This is really impressive, actually. They
This is
haven't
nice.
overextended too much. Though I think part of this is like Uprising King is in a fallback position here, and they're not able to get a lot of support from 6 over top because they're in a separate alliance. It's making it more difficult for them to engage, and I think it's really left the Uprising King completely open to this backdoor attack by Snow and Dew.
Yeah, and EPOW actually getting a nice little counter engagement over the walls here. This territory has been claimed, but it's not going to stop the push here. It's only going to be a level 1 as territories have been reset here. So the guards and the mage aren't going to be as powerful, but their defenses are still up, so they're not going to be able to fully push the tower. They may even back off here. Snow may have overextended their welcome just a little bit. If they get flanked now from 6 from the west, that's going to be GG. Because look how many guards they have. And yes, it's a level 1 tower, but they have aggroed pretty much the whole entire territory now. And those healers will start getting pounded upon. Those poor healers. And Triton actually looks like he wants to engage onto the tower. Surely he knows 6 are still out to the west. Surely, right? Defensive inertia
would
rings
imagine
down.
he's aware of that. Let me go and check out. Oh, yeah, he's fighting 6 on the other side. So he's engaged with M3R. Well, he's not, but the other Zach My Pink or Snow 021 are over here on the western flank fighting against 6.
So 021. That name does not exist. Click on. Oh, Zach. Okay, we'll hop onto that one in the chat then, as these guys just have this group of EPOW pinned up on the tower. Shozen could have gave us a tank, but he chose not to.
I gave you the one that's the name I could spell.
It happens. I don't blame you.
The one I thought was really easy for us to go to got deleted. So
Ew. Alrighty.
you notice how there's no name that even looks anything like what I said?
Yep.
Yeah, nothing.
There's one. Phalanx. Hopefully that's an L. It is indeed. As the boys in 6 push right into the back end, the permafrost are raining down. Counter comes in with the camland here.
Nicely
and
done
Snow
with
are
the
in
push.
full
Yeah.
retreat. Nice
I
use
like
of the
seeing
carpet.
it. Yep. Get themselves across. Now they got to throw something down. Also, nice use of the Juggernaut there. I got to say, not a bad use. Really well done on the choke. They're slowing them down. I would have liked to see Six get some of that DPS there to make use of that.
Yeah, it looks like
Stack
Snow
my
with,
pink guarding the hell out of this this choke, doing quite a good job. Oh, wasting a wanderlust though.
I did put a tank in the chat for you, by the way.
Yeah, I see the Phalans. Yeah, I see Phalans.
Nice use of the glacial staff here being used on the choke point, keeping this group at bay. And I believe Triton is actually going to start getting hit from the west. Now, yes, they are. Actually, switch back onto Triton a little bit more in the action here.
All right. Oh, there's a lot of action over here. Look at this. This is quite the gala.
Yeah, EPOW still holding in on the tower. The Six boys are slowly edging in on the western side of the territory. This mage just about to hit half HP. And it looks like they are focusing down on the mage. Once that mage goes down, territory defense is disabled. And that means the lasers are disabled on the tower. But I think Snow know that they're getting pushed in from the western side. That's where they're all edging up on this eastern side, making sure they're not getting sandwiched. Are they going to make a play here? Nice snare charge onto that group there on the west.
Constant fighting, Robin, as Sarge is once again engaged with yet another group.
Oh boy. And EPOW looking for an engagement onto the boys of Snow here. Nice counter. Camlan comes in. Snow finally looking for a deletion that they've been hoping for the last 5 minutes or so on the tower. It's not going to be a full wipe here, though, as EPOW are still holding on for dear life. I believe 6 are causing chaos on the western side as well. But Snow, they're about to drop the mage here. They haven't given up. 1 bar of health remaining. That mage is spinning. Doesn't know what it's meant to do. It seems to be bugging out. It looks like a very nice counter. Oh boy, that group of EPOW just got absolutely annihilated. And there goes the territory defense. It's disabled. It's going to be a full butt rush onto the tower for a full cleanup here onto EPOW. And where the hell is 6? Where is 6?
Well, I don't think they're coming. But I do think that there's quite a fight on top of Sarge, and Sarge might not even make it out of here right now, just by the skin of his teeth over here in Glacial Fall Valley. He's fighting against the Mila. I thought it was militia, but it's not.
Mila. Another small-scale piece of content here. We've seen quite a bit of small-scale content for the NA portion,
Yeah, it's
actually.
been really good. This has been awesome content. This is the kind of content that I love. When it's like 20v20 and 40v40 and 50v, that's great shit.
It is really good to see, and it looks like both sides are actually taking casualties on that engagement. Sarge and the boys trying to back up. They do get clumped here, but both sides on cooldowns. Suncloud, I believe, the shock caller for the Miller group to the west. Militant holding in. Nice offensive and defensive inertia ring there. Sarge looked for an engagement. His boots were popped, but that inertia ring was down. I'm surprised he actually went for a boot pop while that was still up. Rookie mistake there from Sarge. Maybe he's still a little bit rusty coming back, obviously. He's no longer 26 in line to shock call. He is now the shock caller. So he actually has to do something now.
Yeah, he's got to work on it. Yeah, got to make it happen for his guys.
And look at this. Oh, nice use of the counter Camland. Sarge actually dragged it away, popped his boots as well, or his potion, shall I say, sorry, his jig pot, and was able to suck up that engagement. Now a full push coming in, but those inertia rings, the defensives, come on, you gotta keep your tank alive. There you go. I thought Atto was going to go down there after such a nice play with the inertia ring. But he was going to get punished. Nice
here it
Camland.
goes. Is he
Armor
gonna get out?
pierce.
Barely
Wow.
gets out. Nicely done. He's gonna
3
make
members of militia didn't. There's actually a group forming up in the tower itself here. Exus is forming up. I see a couple members mounted. I don't know what's going on there, if it's a boss team or what. Nice snare charge. Multiple cleanses coming out, followed up by a chain Grovekeeper CC. Grove, actually, the Brimstone, shall I say, did connect, but look at these Mist Piercers coming in from the farm plot into the back end, stopping the push here of militia. A lot of defensives getting used, inertia rings, locusts, and Judicator armors. And here comes this group actually causing chaos in the back end that we were just talking about a moment ago. Threw out a random camland. Sarge doesn't want anything to do with that. He's going to be pulling back all the way east outside of the territory. Another tier 2 blob zoning in on the northwest side of the map. That's going to be another group. Actually, that's going to be Send. So Send, Rang, and Elevate are zoning in up here. And while that happens, Miller looking for another good engagement. The counter comes in. Sarge looking for a full push here. The permafrosts are connecting. Extra camlands and brimstones raining down. No kills secured though for Militant on that engagement. Just not enough follow-up CC. And it's not looking great for Militant. They need to start rotating now because that group of Rang will be making an appearance soon enough. I'm not sure if they're going to be hitting all the way from the northeast side. If they do, Militant will be the first group to fall. Sarge and the boys looking for another engagement. Defensive locus for the front lines here of Miller. Going to be able to soak up that engagement pretty well. While all that is happening, the back end of Militant is getting pummeled by tanks. The Grove Keepers just raining down their CC. And now Militant are in full kite mode.
Nemesis versus somebody over here. I thought are they fighting Arch? No, they wouldn't be doing that. I've been told to come to a Far Shore Drylands by Cyber Ninja and Etrox. Cyber Ninja I'm currently hanging out on. He's like, now! And I'm on a T5 blob here between Arch and X-Arch, trying to see what's going on. I'm going to type the name into chat.
Yeah, Gluttony actually whispered me as well, saying that they're about to fight Broke Boys in Far Shore Drylands.
Oh, so that's what it is. Okay, these guys are getting ready to fight Broke Boys. I'll keep an eye on this on my second screen. We can keep Sarge on the first screen while he's still fighting, and I'll let you know when this thing gets underway.
Yeah, Militant here still in full kite mode. That group of Rang actually left the zone via the northeast, not wanting to get involved here. So still very small scale content here between Miller and Militant. It's nice to see the big boys just letting these smaller groups battle it out, enjoy some reset day action on a little bit of a smaller scale front.
Oh, it is underway down here. Let me see who's fighting. Sarge. I'm sorry, not Sarge. It's Seed is supposed to be the one calling this fight, so I'm gonna head over to Seed.
Alrighty.
And I'm told that I don't see him on the battle. I see tons of skulls, like a lot of them over here in the bottom. He's
here. They just engaged.
Yeah, this is Broke Boys outside of their hideout. And Arch.
Yeah, and it looks like
the massacre.
I hate this POV on top of the part.
Poor Gluttony is all alone. He was right at the front of the battle, but then now he's not. And the Broke Boys are just pushing through Arch and X-Arch like this is a hot knife through butter. If I've ever seen a hot knife through butter, Robin. This is a massacre. These
guys have been at it back and forth since Broke Boys became a thing over the last couple days. I actually been seeing some very juicy battle boards popping up. 1,000 plus kills for them. So, you know, this isn't their first rodeo. Arch, you know, has been the punching bag, so to speak, for Broke Boys.
My God.
Getting them back up to speed.
There's still a fight going on Sarge. I'm getting told that there's another fight on the Hogs versus PoE. I don't even know who the Hogs are.
It's another small group that's, you know, just popping up. It looks like this group of Arch just got pushed all the way back.
The Lonely Men are Hogs. Okay, the Lonely Men are back.
Oh, okay. Well, Speed is fleeing, it seems like. Gluttony is dead, so that fight is over. I'm going to hop back onto Sarge, unless there's decent content with your group.
Not yet.
Alrighty. Sarge, still kiting around this territory, by the way. Now into a very small choke point. Militant going to be losing 3 members of the front line. Sarge looking to engage, but I don't know if Miller are actually... I was about to say if they're not stupid enough to push this choke point, but it looks like they are backing away. Nice play, good call here by SunCloud, not taking this death choke. definitely in favor of Militant. They do have vision advantage. They definitely also have cooldown rotation in favor ready to engage. And, you know, it's just the little things like that when it comes to shot calling, knowing when not to overextend your Zerg through a choke point where it can literally flip in a matter of one engagement table of the fight. Looks like Sarge is going to go for a wraparound himself. Both sides actually going for a wraparound, and we're going to go back into the open here.
Another wraparound.
Another wraparound. Sarge notices name tags to his eastern side. Grail Seeker and the boys going for an engagement over the cliff top here. Maybe one or two members. Maybe. No, the counter comes in. Militant looking for something. Both sides not going to be able to secure a single kill on that engagement. And now Militant back into the open field. The kiting continues. And I really needed that drink.
Okay. I'm just trying to find another bit of content here, as it does seem like everything happened at one time, and then took a little bit of a breather, didn't it? It's like, give us a second, guys. We need to have a drink.
We're 31 minutes past the timer, by the way. Like, territory spawned 31 minutes ago. These guys are still fighting out here, and this is very, very, very rare indeed to have happen, especially for the NA invasion. It's normally wrapped up like 15 minutes ago. So it's nice to see changes, different smaller groups fighting, coming out the woodworks, trying to, you know, get their slice of the pie. Now a couple of the bigger boys have definitely left the scene.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I'm really excited to see how this plays out, not just this season, but next season.
Mm-hmm.
This is really the setup season for this, you know, where we're going to see a lot of people doing what I figure is like more season point stuff, but not necessarily more overt overworld action, you know, not taking things down. But next season, I expect to see a lot of dirty action. Speaking of dirty action, Dirty Haral just told me to go check out Slaya Hada.
All right, let us know if what's happening there. Sarge and the boys still playing the old repositioning wraparound game here in Glacier Fall Valley. This area of the map that they're currently trying to reposition in is actually quite smart. One or two times I was thinking that they would go for the engagement, but I kept opening up my mini-map to see the choke points and how the map is laid out here. It's very choke heavy, and there's quite a bit of room for the boys in Miller to wrap around and get a flank off. Sarge is in an okay-ish position, got some choke points to his south side, and Miller are just back and forth. And it looks like another big engagement. Miller actually going to be burning quite a few defensives here. Sarge looking to play off two different cooldown rotations now, so that's going to be new. Reinforcements definitely coming in for Militant here.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like another group, actually, never mind. This is just rats.
There's so many rats on lizards today, dude. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, this Sarge has got quite an interesting set of situations today, hasn't he? He's been fighting constantly for about, it feels like an hour.
Yeah, non-stop, but it has been an hour.
Well, for
just
us,
over an hour.
I feel like he's been
for
almost
him.
an hour
No,
as well.
we came in on Sarge, remember?
Yeah.
Look
Good
at this
stuff for this guy today. He's probably loving this a lot more than when he was running 35 zones with BA.
Indeed. And it looks like Sarge and the boys look for an engagement. One or two members of Miller goes down, but the wraparound came in. So what I was talking about earlier on, they could get flanked. Looks like a group of Miller has wrapped around and hit the back end. Militia, or Militant, shall I say, now in full kite mode. They need to be careful where they kite to, because some of these chokes lead to a dead end, and these choke points are getting pounded at the moment. Nice siegeable placement, but nice stoppage there from the tanks of Militant. Camland comes out, but it gets shut down by the defensive locust here, purging that engagement. And Miller just steamrolling in, but not enough to shut down the push from the choke point. Militant now looking for a full push. Very, very low health bars for Miller over to the western side. I'm quite surprised Sarge didn't capitalize off that. He does notice there's a group wrapping around just to the corner of his screen to the southwest. So he doesn't want to get hit from the rear again. Needs to be careful. He's going to be actually out in front, shutting down that engagement. Nicely done. Energy Shaper's a little bit too far back from Miller here to actually do anything, but no DPS at all for Militant. Where's the DPS, boys? Still full kite mode. They need to get their groupings back here, get their bearings, get the front line stabilized, the back end back into coordination with the tanks, because the boys in Militant are getting some nasty clumps here. Sarge actually should be looking for an opening with the Camland right about now. Wait for that Locust to go. Another offensive Locust, but it's going to be misplaced. That Brimstone way too late. Only 1 or 2 members going to die on that engagement. Militant, just DPS needs to sync up just a little bit more. That Brimstone player needs to get his act together and start landing on those 4 clumps in the choke points. And look at this, Camland comes in onto this group. There comes the Hand of Justice, keeping them locked in place, but it's not going to be enough as defensive Locust is down. And Militant, this group, they're just going back and forth. This is literally a perfect ZVZ for small scale. 1 or 2 deaths happening with, on 1 or 2 engagements. No massive deletions coming in. Both sides playing incredibly well in terms of kiting, repositioning, defensives, everything. Like, this could go on for quite a while here, Shozen.
This has been really good content. I have to say, is this NA has been awesome. If we had this all the time, if this is what we get, Robin, oh my God. We'll have to have 2-hour-long ZVZ shows.
Well,
are you ready?
We do have Tazzik here. I don't know if he's willing to come in for the war report for NA invasion.
NA war report?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm trying to build some NA teams, you know?
Do you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
It is insane. And, I mean, it would be nice to break this fight down afterwards, but there's so much going on. It's kind of easy to call out what's actually happening. From a viewer point, like, it's kind of easier to read. Like, there's
fewer, yeah.
Yeah, there's no major deletions coming in. Like, 1 or 2 members going to die. Like, 1 member died on that clump. If this was amplified up to, like, the faux scale ZVZs that we've been watching, where it's, like, zone, cluster queued, like, you would have been, like, 20 people probably would have died on that engagement. Just, like, people were just playing really well. Sarge just shutting down these Cloffies here. It's a nice
hero plays, Robin.
play.
You get to see the hero plays is what this means. Is I just saw a healer make an amazing save on a tank by stepping up into damage area, into damage range, and making the heal so that the tank didn't die. That's a hero play. You get to see that when it's in the 40 v 40 range. When it gets too big, you can't see that.
Exactly.
And I think we're closer to about 20 v 30 right now.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I would say, well, Sarge...
We're about to have less. Sarge losing a few boys.
Oh boy. 2 members of
just
Militant.
a couple, yeah. They're down 3 right now as a total, and I believe they have 19 to start. 16 players still on the field, still doing well, picking up their own loots.
Yeah, look at this. Couple members of Miller actually overextending. Is this tank going to pay with his life here? No forward heals.
He is. He's
oh
gonna,
boy.
He's going to pay for that. No hero play by a healer on his side.
Yeah, even this Bloodletter to the west.
Here comes hero plays by Sarge, killing this other guy. This guy is going to barely make it out. Barely make it out.
Yeah, Bloodletter, so many dashes and hibbity hops. And actually, I just checked Sarge. He has no helmet. Overcharge has taken effect and broken some of the members' armor pieces here. I'm wondering how that affects the rest of Zerg. There you go. That's what they were looking for. Finally, the combos coming in. Actually, a good 6 members of Miller going to go down there. And Militant have been lacking in the DPS department. And finally, they find maybe what will flip this CVZ into their hands here as the push continues. Suncloud's still spamming, looking for a turn on the choke point. Nice little dash forward there by Sarge, dragging the Camland away from the Cloffies in the back end, just onto his front line. They're going to be able to soak up this engagement here. The push continues. Big counter Camland comes in. There comes the combo DPS once again. 1 or 2 members may hit the ground there. I believe 1 or 2 did for Miller. And SunCloud actually went off to the west here. I don't know if Miller are actually calling a full retreat here. Get out if you can. Maybe overcharge has taken effect on their side as well, as this fight has been going on for well over 30 minutes now. So it looks like, yes, indeed, Miller, the call has been made. If you can get out, get out. And wow.
Let them know how much I love the content.
Oh my god. If my voice is like this, God knows what Sarge's voice is like.
It's hurting. It's hurting. Well, he's a professional screamer.
Yeah.
Like, he's been doing it for quite a while. You just started about a year and a half ago, so he's got a good decade and a half on you.
Yeah, he's up there. He's used to yelling at his men.
Well, all right. Well, on that note, I think we're going to have to start wrapping it up, Robin.
Yeah, I mean, this territory is still up for grabs. No one's claimed this territory here. And it looks like XES have finally appeared. I don't know if they've got a foe ZVZ force to the east. They have a couple tanks. They have a Locust here.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we're going to see more action here. I'm still being told that the Lonely Men are going to get action. And I see them in the center of a zone all alone with a T5 bubble. And we're talking 47, a level 47 disarray. I don't know if that's going to draw anybody into their zone.
Apparently Slice. I don't know how long ago this was. Nope. That's not online anymore. But
yeah, a lot of people are offline.
Slice were fighting 6 while this fight was happening with Sarge. Did anything happen with Broke Boys and Gluttony? That may have kicked off. Gluttony is he offline or is he in cluster queue? Offline. Momono.
Oh, Tazzik's doing some great things with the camera work today. I got to give him some credit there. Getting to see some different things. Thank you, Tazzik.
You're done in the back end. Momono is offline as well. So, yeah, it's just down to Sarge.
It's Sarge and the Lonely Men right now. Those are the two that we're being told to pay attention to. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to stick around for maybe 5 more minutes to see if we get any content. So we can start wrapping it up, letting people know what they can watch on AOTV and when, and where else they can watch us.
Hold on.
Okay, you need a moment. Okay.
Hold on, dude. Dominic just zoned in on top of Miller in Glacier Fall Valley.
Oh my god.
They're both heading towards the territory. I don't know if Surf are working with Miller. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Sarge actually backed out of the zone, obviously overcharged.
He doesn't want to run into. Yeah, he does not want to run into title right now. That's probably a little bit big for him.
Yeah, level 43 disarray debuff on Surf.
Oh, then that makes the Hogs look really impressive at level 43. Okay. All right.
Like
they had 47 not too long ago. Impressive from the Hogs. I wonder how many guilds are in the Hogs.
I think it's 2.
Okay.
I think.
Lonely Men and who else?
I
see one. Be careful.
Lonely Men.
It's Be Careful and the Lonely Men.
There you go. Yeah, it looks like Surf are maybe allied here with Milla, as no content happening here, as I believe Milla's going to be claiming territory. I don't know. Yeah, they have a group. SunCloud is on the territory. I'll put his name in chat just for something to show in the background as they line up here. But yeah, I think this is going to be the wrap up here of the NA invasion. Great content all around. I mean, I wasn't expecting much coming into this. Obviously, a lot of the larger groups faded away last season. Didn't really know if the power vacuum was going to be sucked up with a lot of smaller scale content, or if like bigger boys going to be showing. But both things happened. We had great small scale content. We also had some very large scale content as well. So great all round. Hopefully the content continues throughout the Energy Surge season, a shortened season, to allow guilds to have a placement for season 14 with their HQs, if you need to check out the rankings and you need to see how many season points you need to earn, and how many season points it is per tier, because it did get updated.
Yeah,
if you actually haven't checked the news post, it has been updated a couple times. I believe this is final, I believe. Or the zone quality.
I'll believe it's
max
final
zone
when
tier.
I see the patch notes. I'm gonna tell you, that's
true.
These are. I'm gonna be honest. I think anything that is before a content update is subject to change until the day it releases, because things got to get done. You know, it's all. Can it be done? What can get done? And what needs to get changed immediately, because they're testing this as they're making it. So you never know. I don't want to ever say that it is a final rendition, you know.
Yeah. All right. Fair. Yeah. But yet, from 10,000 season points all the way up to 200,000, depending on where you want to place your hideout and in which tier zone you want to place it in. But remember, only the top 600 guilds of the season can qualify for a HQ hideout. So there is a hard cap on the amount of HQs that are going to be coming into the Outlands. I believe it equates to something like two per zone, because there's about 300-ish plus maps, right? Tiles, clusters for the Outlands. I believe it's somewhere in that region. I want to say. I want to try and remember that number correctly. I think it's in that region of 300.
Yeah, it's about 298.
Yeah.
And then there's your 3 cities, and then there's your raid zones, and there's a couple, there's portals, so you have 15 portal zones. There's a bunch of places that are out there as tiles, but you can't really put a HQ down in.
Yeah. But, yeah, so make sure you read up on that, figure out what you want to do as a guild going forward. Remember, throughout the season, points do increase as we go into it. At the moment, it's ×1. I believe next week it goes into ×2.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, ×3. And then there's going to be quadruple season point earnings at the end of the season for, I believe it's the final week and a half, I want to say. So some of these inner ring castles are going to be scoring close to 2,000 season points per major castle.
Mercy days.
It's going to be fun times. Going to be very rewarding if you can snag a couple of those major castles for your guild. So it's going to be a very interesting season going forward. Obviously, you can check out all the content here on AOTV throughout the season, from Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. You can catch the 5v5 Crystal League, the 20 versus 20 Crystal League, the war reports, the daily shows to keep updated on the news and goings on, maybe some sneak peeks into what's coming with future updates as well. You can also check out some of our interviews that happens throughout the season with different members of the community, maybe even some dev talks coming in, some developer interviews. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I know the guys back at the office are they're working away on the new content update, that's for sure. But
yeah, they are. They're working away on that, and I'm really looking forward to it. I just got to see more of that. The art update, Robin.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so good.
Oh, good. I can't wait until they show it off fully to the rest of the community, and the guys, the players at home can see the new revamp of all the biomes and the art. Oh my god, it's Albion 2.0. I'm calling it. It's Albion 2.0 in my eyes. It felt like a whole new game.
It looks like a new game. It really does. Next gen Albion right there. Yeah. HD Albion.
Yeah. The RTX on. But not really RTX on.
Yeah, not really.
I should throw in the disclaimer there. I don't want us to get in trouble. Sorry, NVIDIA. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're rambling here. And I guess it's time to close out the show.
Yes,
Once again, you can check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Albion TV, where you can check out all our past content from all the previous seasons. And that's going to be all the past shows, the 5v5s, 20 versus 20, war reports, Invasion Day battles, daily shows, and interviews, but maybe if you're looking to listen to some of the interviews in a different format, say MP3, on the way to work, on the way home from work, on the way to school, who knows? They can do, but it's found elsewhere, isn't it, Shozen?
It sure is. You can find it over on soundcloud.com/Albion TV, or any place you listen to podcasts by simply typing in Albion TV into your search bar. If you do that, you'll be greeted with nearly 100 interviews featuring some of the most interesting and charismatic individuals in all of Albion Online, as well as members of the Sandbox Interactive Development Team. So if you want to figure out what the politics are of Albion Online, what the histories are, or just want to hear about how the game was made, head over to soundcloud.com/Albion TV.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a awesome NA invasion. I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage, the insane battles, and shout out to everyone that went out there and slayed each other constantly over and over again to give us a good showing. But until Tuesday, when we're back with the War Report, have a glorious couple days, everybody. We'll see you soon. Adios.
Good night.